Hey guys, Jason Christie here. Just got the W on Lake St. Clair in the Bass Elite event, and I'm really comfortable fishing St. Clair. I have been ever since I started coming up here, with the exception of the first time. I had a lot of, the intimidation factor kind of kicked in that first event, but since then I feel comfortable out there drifting. And what I did in practice was, I've had some success up here in certain areas of the lake, and I obviously went to that first, and there just wasn't a lot of fish there. So, I started from scratch and just started drifting. Well, once I try to grid the lake out, or the area. I'll drift. If I get a 4-pound bite, I hit a waypoint, and then another drift, maybe a couple hundred yards over. And what you create is a grid, and you're going to get these, these drifts that are higher percentage than just, than another drift. But the area I was fishing was sand bottom. It had sand grass on it that was like 12 inches, and I wanted to fish a drop shot because I feel like the hookup ratio is really good, especially when you're dropping underneath the boat a lot. But I couldn't do it. The weight would get caught in the grass and stuff. So and that's why I went to the tube. This is a Yum tube, green pumpkin. I used a 3/4 ounce head, and the reason was a lot of wind, and I was fishing deep water, and I had to be able to rip that tube. I would have rather have used a spin rod, but the grass was thick enough that with a spin rod in 20 foot of water, I couldn't keep the tube clean. So I went to a bait caster, 10-pound Sunline Sniper, fluorocarbon, Lew's Custom Pro 7.5 to 1, and Falcon Cara Amistad. It's a 7.3. It's pretty heavy here, but it's got a lot of tip. I try not to set the hook on these fish. Like when I get a bite, I don't want to set the hook, kind of like the same as a spinning rod. When I get a bite, I just want to take off reeling and then lean into them and let the tip do all the work. And of course I had my drag set pretty light, but it's all about, St. Clair can be intimidating. You have to zone it down a little bit, and then you have to grid it out, and you just have to pick an area. I mean, there's hundreds of winning areas out there, winning spots, and so you don't have to think about it as finding that one spot on a lake that has 480 square miles. You got to think about finding one of those, however many. There is hundreds of spots out there. So great week. Couldn't be gladder to have a blue trophy.